will become torch bearers. And you will raise the banner of Pentecostalism higher.
The year was 2014, and we were all serving in Kaneshie Central Assembly at the time. We were in the youth ministry. Of course, I was the youth secretary, and we had a transfer of a new district pastor. He had come in and had loved to introduce a new local assembly, this time an English assembly, and then came up with Elder Ebenezer Kofi Essel as the first presiding elder of Kaneshie District English Assembly.
Ebenezer Kofi Essel.
To Kaneshie District 2018, and for the past 5 years I have known him and his family very well. What I can say is that Elder Essel is a true man of God. His love for God is unquestionable. His commitment to duty is worthy of emulation, and he's a true Pentecostal man.
English Assembly is only going to use the English language as a medium of communication, but Pentecost will still be in our hearts. Amen.
Elder Essel as a choice of presiding elder was a welcoming news. Everybody was in approval. You could see the excitement on people's faces. I believe the choice of the new presiding elder in the person of Elder Ebenezer Kofi Essel came as a surprise to him himself, because this time he was going to lead a fully fledged local assembly. He had been leading a group of people, the youth ministry. We used to call him Se, but this time an assembly fully fledged with members and presbytery. Immediately he saw that he needed people to join him. Fortunately, some of us had been pulled out from the local assemblies, Kaneshie Central, and I believe the then J.C. Kwe Memorial Temple, to come and join hands.
Brother Michael Appiah.
I have known, work and work with Elder Ebenezer Kofi Essel in the Kaneshie district over decades. He's more of a brother, uncle, and father to me and my family. When he was the youth ministry leader of the Kaneshie Central Assembly, I was his able assistant. By providence, when Kaneshie English Assembly was created about 8 years ago, and he was appointed the presiding elder, I was his women's ministry leader.
We saw Elder Essel as a team leader and as a team player. He immediately entrusted and had confidence in all the team members that he was coming to start this new local assembly with. He was capable, and in fact, he led this local assembly to these greater heights that we are witnessing in these days. We bless God so much for his leadership.
He was always available for every prayer session, and I don't think there was any offering that we took in this church that he didn't lead. As a leader, he took that step and gave, and you could realize that most times he went out of his way to set a certain standard.
Elder Essel exhibited himself as someone who possesses an excellent leadership spirit. He's a visionary, a strategist, a team player, and an accomplisher. Elder Essel is a deep spiritual person, full of the Pentecostal doctrines and songs.
He has the grace of the gift of music. He receives music and is able to teach the church, notwithstanding the fact that he's a leader, but he came down to their level and he was able to manage them. If we are seeing English Assembly now, where God has lifted them, we can say that Elder has really done very well.
These qualities have enabled him to grow the members of the assembly in Christian principles, enabling most of them to rise to the leadership positions in the assembly, districts, and area.
One thing I want to commend Elder Essel for is the solid structures he left behind, which has made my work as the new presiding elder very easy.
His wife, Deaconess Ebenezer Essel, was also pulled out from the then Kaneshie Central to join the husband in leading the local assembly. We saw in Elder Essel a passionate leader, a leader that made sure that his family was the first church. He ensured that his sons and his daughters were all part of every single meeting.
He just had a way of balancing his tight work schedule, church activities, and then family life. Most often you could see how he related to his children, and anytime you observed, you could see it wasn't just at church, it was something that was part of him. And it's something that I always wanted to know how he did it, because I know he's a senior director, a very big person at his workplace, and then as presiding elder, everybody's going to him, calling for all kinds of help, and yet he could equally find time for family. Sometimes you call him, he says, I'm sending my son to school, we are going for this program here, this is my child's graduation. And then I wonder, how do you combine all these things? But of course, I believe it is a special grace upon his life to have such a sound balance of time for family, work, church activities, and I want to commend him so much for that.
He never discriminated between ages and class. You are the best, Daddy. I want to say thank you for your time and for all your efforts. We love you, Daddy.
He is indeed a God-fearing person, humble, affable, and loyal to the cause of the gospel. Today we say, Ayiko Elder Ebenezer Kofi Essel.
God bless you, Elder Essel. God bless you, Mami Essel. And God bless the entire family.
We want to thank God for his life, the life of the wife and the entire family. He has expensed himself so much. What we can say is that the Lord bless him. He has not finished yet. He's still young in a way, and God is still using him. He's a district secretary, and God is using him to push the work forward. I believe that God uses man to accomplish his desire. God has really used you to bring this church this far. God bless you and continue to be with you.